now listening to The Real.
Man, I appreciate them dudes for talking about
The Raw.
Wait, they were talking about
The Relatable.
That's exactly what I've been going through.
The Relentlessly Real Podcast.
Welcome to the Relentlessly Real Podcast, where we discuss real, raw, and relatable topics. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast today. Let's kick this off with some introductions. My name is John.
My name is Terrence.
And I'm Antonio.
See, this, you gotta get the flow, man. My name, we go left to right. I mean, right to left, man. So me, then you, then...
Oh, it always went that way.
No, did it?
Yeah.
No.
It's always been Mike and then Terrence.
Oh,
Tony.
my bad.
Do you listen to our podcast?
My bad.
We gotta do that again.
He was in the podcast.
Let's kick this off with some introductions. My name is John.
I'm Antonio.
And I am Terrence.
All right. So we got our boy Tony filling in for Mike. As you guys know, if you checked out our Instagram page, Mike has already said he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, maybe months, because he's doing his like dissertation and all these different things for his collegiate experience. And we want to support him in that.
Absolutely.
But we also want to have more podcasts still coming out. So in order to keep the flow moving, we got our boy Tony filling in with us and helping us out.
Yep, what up?
So we're super excited, man. It's been a couple of weeks since we've even got a chance to even see each other. I don't even know what's been happening.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with you guys? What's going on with you, Tony?
Nothing much. Just had our housewarming. Life is kind of slowing down, being able to enjoy day by day.
You did have the housewarming.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be there.
John was like that.
I was so sad.
I was literally on the way.
The wife did her thing.
Hold on. What do you mean you were on the way?
I was on the way, and then London starts throwing up, and I was extremely pissed. Extremely pissed. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, my daughter starts throwing up. I'm just like,
enough.
Yo.
It's not always about you, London. That sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
So you had to turn the car around and go back home.
Yeah, and the worst thing is we had already sat through like 20 minutes of tunnel traffic. And just to go back around and sit through another 20 minutes. So I literally got home at the same exact time I would have arrived at Tony's house.
Jesus. So how did you feel? I mean, how was it feel? Like, what was
It
a
was
lot of people
good.
come out?
It was a good amount of people. It was good that everyone was able to vibe together and separately.
Yeah.
And the wife and I was able to just flow and do our thing. So
yeah,
the drum was good.
Your house is beautiful, by the way.
It is real nice.
I got a chance to see it about 2 months ago.
Thank you. Yeah, we got like 3 acres out in the middle of Virginia.
There it is.
Yeah,
do you really have 3 acres, or is it like? It's okay if it's not, but but the house itself is dope.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's so dope. It's beautiful. What about you, T, man? What you up to?
Nah, man, I'm off work for 2 weeks. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually about to start painting my house.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah. So because we had been putting it off and saying, yeah, we're gonna pay for it and was gonna use.
I thought y'all were thinking about moving at one point.
Right. Well, that's why we want to paint it. We want to give like a whole presentation feel, like showroom feel.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, 'cause it needs touch up. It's 3 years old at this point, so it needs touch ups anyway.
Yeah.
Like, might as well paint. And we was gonna when we get taxes back. Man, them taxes, school loans took them taxes for both of us.
So y'all gonna paint it yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna paint it.
Wow,
that's gonna be a
lot
of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So I'm gonna start with, so I'm only doing one room. I'm gonna start with my area, which is the man cave. I'm gonna do the man cave.
So
right.
Hey, if I'm doing it,
what color you paint the man?
Like a gray. Like a gray.
Like a dark gray or light gray?
I think so. I'm gonna do an accent wall. The back where the TV is gonna be a dark gray. And
okay,
then the
HGTV.
So let me ask you if you pay attention. It's gonna have blue undertones or
All right, I think I think it's called lava gray. The color I picked is called lava gray.
That's cute.
And then what's the name is called like a coal gray, like a something like that. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
And I got a new TV, so then I got to mount that.
Yes, we heard about the 95,000-inch TV.
82 inch.
Oh, 82 inch.
82
But
inch.
you haven't mounted yet.
Wow.
I have not mounted.
Yeah, so why even... Are you going to mount it?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to mount it.
Once you finish painting?
Yeah, once I finish painting.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. You're going to be tired.
Tony's mount, inspired me. Because I want the mount where it comes, like the TV comes off the wall.
Yeah.
Shout out to my pops.
Yeah, that's dope.
Install.
Yeah, your dad does that for a living, right?
Yeah.
Let me make a phone call real quick.
You should.
You think he'll drive this a
Insert plug. Yeah.
Give you like a 6% discount.
No.
No.
A markup?
Upcharge.
I've mounted every TV in my house, so I could do it, but I need
You cannot
somebody.
mount that TV.
I need somebody else to like actually. I can put the mount up.
Yeah.
But that joint is way.
It's a lot of work.
Never mind. I'm not even going.
It's heavy.
I'm not even going to finish.
It's
No,
fat.
finish
Nope. I'm good.
We're comfortable with our
I am good.
masculinity.
I'm not even going to finish it.
He said it think fat.
Thick.
Oh, Jesus. God help
Two
us.
C's on the end.
Well, anyway.
What's going on with you?
I'm good. I'm trying to balance life right now. You guys know that I play for a band, so we've been urban doxology, and we've been traveling a lot lately. So I've been gone for the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We've been
So that's
hating.
been cool, but don't hate because it's still work. I'm working. I'm
enjoying your job.
You're in your cubicle doing your job, or you're at your school doing your thing. I'm at work when I'm on my airplane going to whatever,
Or that cruise ship.
Right.
or a cruise ship. I'm at work.
I was cussing at you the entire time.
I did do a
A
cruise.
whole room to himself.
That was so dope. That was so dope, man. I never did a cruise before. I told my wife that I've always wanted to do one, so I played a cruise.
Really?
I'm a piano player. Huh?
I thought you did do a cruise.
I've gone on cruises before, but
Not
I
played.
played.
See, I didn't know that part.
They
You
played
were
on a
actually
cruise.
playing on the cruise.
I was playing on the cruise.
Yeah.
I thought you were playing at a venue. I didn't know that.
No.
At venues on the cruise. So there's a cruise called they did the Royal Caribbean, but there's a company that basically outsourced everything. They said they're called Love Like You Mean It. So a bunch of different married couples hopped on the cruise. They paid for their room, and they have different sessions on marriage and different sessions on different
Oh,
things.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
it's like a whole thing. Like I never even heard of it
So
before.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I would have just liked to have gone on the cruise.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Had you, but you didn't even.
And I was there.
You was.
Hey guys, I'm going on a cruise.
By the way, it's for married couples, and you could
Yeah,
go.
it's for married couples. By the time I found out about it, about
was
all
already
that part,
booked.
it was already booked
It was
out. It was
okay.
already sold out. Not to mention, I just wouldn't have invited you guys at all. More importantly,
Right.
it was so
we
dope.
wouldn't have came to your show. We would have just been
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why I
Enjoy the
know
cruise.
it's always about you guys. So I was like, I'm not gonna invite these guys. But we went to different places. We went to Puerto Rico and to Bahamas. It was dope. That part was dope.
Wow.
But I didn't have my wife with me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everybody else had their wife. I'm out here just like working for real. So I was like, it was dope. Some of the other bandmates brought their spouses, and so
Yeah.
they out here having a
Wow,
good time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out here in my room alone looking at movies. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you know. So
sure.
it was
Wow, yeah.
dope, but I had a good time.
You went for like the fifth wheel, like
Yeah, I'm like, you guys want to go get something to eat? You guys gonna go? And I'm like
Yeah.
the third wheel. Like, actually, John, we're gonna.
You're in a cab by yourself.
Yeah, I had to like order to my room. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it was just it was good. I actually got sick the second day. I didn't tell you that. I didn't have corona, amen. But I did get sick the second day.
If you're watching this, you see this this smooth lean to the left
Everybody moved away from me.
quickly.
No. The second day I did get sick, because I was playing basketball on the top deck. It was it was a winter season, if you will. So it was in
yeah.
February. So I got sick or whatever. But by the middle of the week, I was good, or near the end of the trip, I was good. I will say this though: we went to I think it's there's a beach, one of Megan's Bay Beach, one of the top 3 or 5 beaches in the world, and it really is.
Oh, wow.
Don't get me lying, I forget where I was when I went there, but we went there and it was beautiful, just beautiful. I mean, literally, like it was like a pool, not like an ocean. It was an ocean, but it was like a pool. There wasn't no waves. Clear. I'm talking about sand. I'm talking about sun. I'm talking about we got drinks, we got food. I mean, I was just like, man, I'm in heaven. Yeah, it was the best experience of my life. And I had been there. I had been to Megan's Bay before with my wife, but we couldn't go because it started raining. So this time I was actually able to go and see it. And
That's dope.
And I texted my wife and like, oh, it was amazing. It's as amazing
And
as
what
she
did she
thought.
say back?
She was like, you Negro. No, I just said no. She wanted me to go, so it was all good.
Dope.
Yeah, man. Like God's been good in that way, man. And I've just been working on my business. So that's a long story short. Just been trying to get that stuff together. But we really appreciate you guys checking us out. We're going to talk about some great things today. But instead of Mike doing our trending topic today, we got our boy Tony doing the trending topics today. So, Tony, I'm about to say Mike again. Tony, hit us with the trending topic.
So today's trending topic is going to be D Wade's daughter, Zaya, and
is it her? Is it his daughter?
well, that's classified. That's his choice pronoun, and things like that. So that's his daughter, even though biologically it's his son.
Right.
So just about that, and his son just his daughter, excuse me, walked the red carpet for the first time, and they supported him, and full throttle support, and being by her side through all of her choices. How do y'all feel about that?
What do I think about Dwayne Wade allowing his son to be now known as a pronoun of her or she? Is that what you're asking me? So I have a lot to say about this topic, so I'm going to reduce it to a couple of things. As far as Dwayne Wade doing this, it's in his household. He can do whatever he wants. But as far as going to the masses and being this hero as a dad, I don't feel at 12 years old that's a decision you should be making. I think, or even reinforcing as a dad. I just don't think you should be reinforcing that. I don't think I should look to my 12-year-old kid to direct me as a parent. I'm the parent. I'm the adult. I'm going to help you understand what you probably should or shouldn't be gravitating towards. And it's my job to navigate you in this world. It's just my job. And I feel like just equally, like I won't give my 12-year-old daughter the keys to my car. I won't let her go and drink alcohol. I won't let, there's certain things I just won't allow that child to do. In that same way, I think in this, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't believe in the whole pronoun thing. I'm another. Like, imagine if I say I know I'm a black guy, but I feel white inside. So I need you guys to respect me as a white man, and you need to tell me I'm white. You would look at me like I'm crazy, and I think that we are trying to make this world out to be like, oh no, I understand, and he's so brave and so wise to be listening to his son. I just don't care to fall in line with the rest of the culture that's saying that this is cool, this is great. And we don't realize how scary this is going to become, where kids decide that they just don't love who they are inside. And there's some depression side things that deal with that as well when gone unaddressed. So I think you should talk about it, but I don't think you should affirm it.
Yeah. So when I read this, I thought about the TLC show where that guy or the boy trends sex change and everything to a girl. Now, it's to the point where she's going to college and she's faced with all these different feelings and emotions, and it's kind of like regretting making that decision so early because she has changed. Yeah. And now dealing with like severe depression and a lot of different things. So I think it's a lot when you it's always great to love, and I think that's the great thing, is that he's showing support and love for his child and not, ostracizing or, making her stay in the closet about how she's feeling, but acknowledging her feelings and things like that. I don't know how I will be as a dad. I don't know if I could do it, but the love part and standing beside is a great thing, and it's a great example of how to support your children. It doesn't have to be about the whole sex or identifying as something else, but any adventure, it's the support and love and guidance behind, but I do think it's a slippery slope, and it's an icy subject, especially when you start talking about sex changes and things like that at a young age, because as you go through puberty, everything may change. Yeah. But I applaud D Wade and Gabrielle Union for the support that they're giving and standing behind their child.
What do you think, T?
So I'm gonna kind of come into this argument with an event that happened in Arizona. Arizona House approves ban on transgender female athletes. So in other words, they will not. The Arizona House of Representatives passed a ban on transgender students participating in girls' sports. A measure its sponsor argue is common sense, but opponents contend it would allow for discrimination against young athletes. So basically, that was all. That's always my biggest fear, because people who don't know me, I'm such a huge proponent of equality. I'm such a huge proponent of equity. I'm such all of that. But I think this trickles in the line of unfairness. When you start having men win Women of the Year, when you start having a male athlete compete with female athletes because he identifies as a woman, this is the part where I think now we are going, in my opinion, it's a little bit beyond like equality and equity.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's just unfair. I think that's the main reason why one of the reasons why I'm against it. The second thing is I do believe some things, it is just what it is. Like if this is the argument, and I know people don't like it, but if you to me, you're either born a man or born a woman. Like, it's just, to me, some things are just not like
discussion.
There was another study of the first transgender dog that came out, and I'm just like, I saw an article where are we going with this? Is my thing. Now, I will say, I still believe that we should support the law of whatever government is there, and as an educator, I have the responsibility to support and the laws. What is that?
I think someone's showering.
Okay, I have the responsibility to support whatever laws are in place, in my state, especially in my schoolhouse, and I'm a huge. That's why I respect what Dwayne Wade did, because if you can't get support from home,
right?
Like at that point, you don't know what's going on in her psyche.
Yeah.
Or so like you want to support your kids, you want to show them love. Because depression is real, and being in the schoolhouse, as a matter of fact, the number one statistic that causes more harm to students is anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's really killing our kids. So that's why I say it seems like I'm two sides of the fence, but it's just I'm an educator.
Yeah.
And so I really gotta support I have to support equality and all those things.
We gotta really talk. I mean, what you started off saying was that equality isn't really happening in these moments. Sometimes we gotta be careful with what we're saying equality is, because like I was thinking about where Dave Chappelle did his sketch, Stick and Stones, and he at the end of, or in the middle of it, he was talking about, like, I was with you ladies talking about, equality, but you guys are doing it the wrong way. And what I agreed about that comment was, he's like, because you don't want it to be equality and then LeBron James go into the WNBA and score 850 points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, the reality is, you aren't a man, you are a woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're getting away from the actual truths of this world. Like legitimately, right? You are a man. Legitimately, you are a woman, and you can't change that. And the one value that I see in this is, no matter what you do, at your core, you're still who you were created to be. Like, no matter what you do, you could you could shave your dick off, take your dick off, whatever. You're still a man. You're not a woman. And nothing's going to change that.
And that's true.
Period. You may feel like you're this, you may feel like you're that inside, but the feelings and facts are different. We got to stop acting like they're the same. That's
one of the things I've been pushing myself on is, whatsoever things are true. That's true. Like you like it's truth. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes we are going far. We are going so far away from things that are just like true. Like, if there's water coming from the clouds, it's raining.
Yeah.
It's raining. No, it's kind of no. It's raining.
No, we don't have to discuss it. If the sun is out, it's out.
Yeah. It's like the Boy Scouts accepting females. Like, right. To me, that makes no sense. You have Boy Scouts, you have Girl Scouts, right? And if you want to do what the Boy Scouts do, create it. Yeah. Why do you have to dismantle or change what the Boy Scouts?
Everything is cool until your child has to go into a female, or go to a female. Your child that's a girl goes into a female restroom and the man is in there with you.
Yeah. Like,
everything's cool until that's a reality for you. Your 2-year-old, 3-year-olds going to the bathroom and the man's in the next stall.
Because they're doing it based off which I could change and say I'm a full blown man, right? Mm-hmm. I identify as a woman, so I'm going to use a woman's bathroom.
Yeah.
I could still love women.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Have my penis.
Yeah.
But because I identify as such, I can go use that bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to respect me in what I identify as.
That makes no sense.
And that's my only point. If I feel like I'm a woman, you should let me in the woman's bathroom.
Right. No.
And you would be like, bruh, what are you doing in here? As you should, because I'm a man. Right. And I don't want to, because we are going to have an actual podcast on this particular topic, but I appreciate that as being the lead in for that, because that's the bottom line is, like, we got to deal with only truths, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yo, I don't want to take a spin off of your trending topic, but I had to introduce this particular thing before we get into our topic today. There's a situation that I heard about today, and I have to run this by y'all. Okay, y'all ready for this? I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there's a lady. Her name was Jane the Mayor Wafield. She walked in on an old flame, her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, and allegedly he was banging his male cousin. And she ran out. I'm sorry, I looked at T's.
How did you come across this?
I'm just
That's
scrolling.
The question
It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. So listen, she ran out. They chased her. The cousin and the man that she had a relationship with, they chased her. She got away, and she attempted to blackmail them and say, "Hey, I won't tell anybody if you give me $5,000 in 1 hour." And use Facebook Live. Like, it's on Facebook Live. You check it out. And she actually, like, exposes the men. Like, I walked in, I left my phone. Basically, she left her phone in there, and she walked in on him smashing his cousin. 24 hours later, she was shot, and as a result of her injuries, she crashed and hit another car about 90 miles per hour, and she was pronounced dead at the hospital later that day.
Wow.
And I want to get your thoughts on that because I thought this is a somewhat trending topic. This happened in February of like last month, and essentially, yeah, that's what happened. Like she literally blackmails them, finds out that the dude she was with is banging his cousin, incest, and then says, "Hey, give me $5,000. I'll keep my mouth shut." Goes on Facebook Live, talks about it all, and then dies 24 hours later in a car crash where she was shot.
But did they shoot her?
Assumably.
Right. That's what I'm like.
No one else has just cause like that. I don't know if they've been arrested. I just wanted to get y'all thought process on that one because I'm sitting there looking. I'm like
stuck. Like
I was super stuck because I'm just sitting there like, you're telling me this girl went through and saw this,
right,
and then decides I'm going to blackmail these people after seeing this
for $5,000
for $5,000. And
so she must knew they didn't have a lot of bread.
I don't know what she knew. Bro.
So I mean, God, never mind. Rest in peace. I just think she's in like.
Come on, spit it
if
out.
you know, if it's so, I just feel like you shouldn't blackmail somebody
unless you know they have it.
You shouldn't blackmail anybody anyway.
Yes,
you are
they have it or not.
You are responsible for your own demise at this point.
Yeah,
I think that, it didn't matter who they were. It didn't matter what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like the point that you went on social media to blackmail people. Like
that was tough, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to check the story out. It's on Facebook. I mean,
man.
I just thought that was this world is just like crazy.
So where do you end up in this? Like, is that an instant you going straight to hell after you do that? Like,
who, the girl?
Yes.
I don't even know where she is right now.
Like,
I just felt like
I shouldn't be laughing.
There were so many elements in this particular story because it was just like, so wait, the guy's on the DL because she was saying he ate my, Joan out. And that's how she knew dude. Like, that's how they were messing with each other. And
okay.
I guess back in the day, he ate her out or whatever. And then at that point, I don't know how, in that story, how she was at the house, how she left her phone, or whatever. Ended up opening the door, see him smashing his cousin. And that's the first offense, just so we're 1,000%. Right. First of all, just wait. Yeah. If you're gay, there are enough people on this earth that you don't gotta do your cousin, okay? But aside from that, you leave that space, you run out of there, and you go on Facebook Live, say you got 1 hour to pay me and give me $5,000. Next day you end up shot dead.
Yeah.
I just thought that was tremendously mind blowing, and I had to share that with you guys.
I hope it was burning in my soul. She had the worst luck.
Right, full circle. Like
that was the worst day of her life for sure. And then she died. So I mean, yeah.
Wow.
All right, man.
That sucks.
I can move on from that because I feel like you guys are so stuck that y'all understand.
I'm just like,
y'all just looking on.
Formulate my thoughts.
Apparently, common sense is not common. Like,
no,
it's not.
You don't go on Facebook Live and expose somebody that was on the down low about being gay, and by being gay with his cousin,
and blackmail for $5,000.
I think that's 3 offenses. Yeah, right there. So
this had to happen in the hood.
I think it was in Dallas. I don't know what part of the hood. I don't know what part of Dallas. I think it was in Dallas. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dallas, Fort Worth, or
don't get me lie. Don't get me lie. I have no idea what this is actually worth. So I just wanted to at least share that with you guys. So I will do my new segment now. So you guys know I have a new segment real quick. We do something called "What Would You Do?" and we're gonna make this one real quick because we got to get into the actual topic for today. All right, so I have a new segment. It's called "What Would You Do?" And so here's the segment. It says, "What if you found a suitcase full of $1 million? What would you do?" Tone.
The perfect part of me would say I'm going to return it to the police station,
and there's no way to return it to. You're gonna return it to just a police station. You found $1 million. No name on it. No nothing on it. It's
because of.
If
I would have to stash that in full cash. I can't put that in the bank because it's going to look weird. Putting $1 million in the bank.
For sure.
I don't want to spend it. I definitely want to save it, but I'm getting no interest on it.
Nah.
I think I'll...
You You could buy real estate.
I would.
Just so we're clear. But go ahead.
I would probably return the $500K to see if anybody like claims
They
it.
lost $1 million.
He's going to.
They're gonna
He's going to half steal. You know,
I'm gonna keep that 5 million.
pockets ain't light, cuz pockets ain't light.
Right.
I don't know, because I'm okay. Like, I'm not looking for a come up like that. I think I'm gonna stick with. I will probably like return it because I want to go to heaven. So I'm gonna
You
return.
gonna return the whole meal. T, what you gonna do?
So I talked to one of my police officers the other day at school.
Okay.
He pretty much how the law works there is that if that's actually not a crime. If somebody drops something and then you obtain it, there's no crime being committed here.
Okay.
There's no robbery and there's no theft.
So can I change my answer?
Yeah. I said, oh, I never knew that. So we were like, because we investigate a lot of times that someone like dropped money on the ground and somebody come pick it up. You need to go track them down. And he's like, track them down and do what?
Yeah.
It was out of your possession.
Yeah.
You lost it. Someone else found it. There's no crime here. Now there might be some
drug money. Like that's the only. Knowing that,
that's good.
Now that's my only like.
You worry somebody gonna kill you?
It's like right because this may be drug money. Somebody just.
I would spend it, but I would probably like John said. I would probably buy some stocks. I would pay off my car, cash, probably my school loans.
Yeah.
My school loans, and then I would take the rest and invest in different spots.
Yeah.
Different places.
So you would diversify your funds.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
what. Yeah.
My portfolio.
Yeah, your portfolio.
That's
what's up. I would take the $1 million. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I would take the $1 million and figure out some way to invest it in real estate. The only thing I know from working in a bank is that if you do a deposit of over $10,000, they track it.
Yeah.
So I love knowing those type of things. So I
Right.
could just I would put $9,999 every month or so, different banks or whatever, like to make it all work. But yeah, I would do that. If you were given 3 wishes, what would you wish for, Terrence?
Jesus.
3 wishes. You got 3 wishes.
Dang. I would wish I wish for money every day.
You don't have to
definitely
wish it every
money.
day. You only got 1 wish. That's 2 more
That
wishes.
was I wish that I would just wake up every morning with $1 million in the bank account.
So that's all 3 of your wishes.
That's one wish.
Oh, okay.
Every morning.
What's your other 2 wishes?
I would wish. That's hard.
Is it really?
Yeah, 3. Like I did. I mean, I would. This sound corny. I would wish, for poverty to be eradicated. I think poverty is the number one reason for crime. So if we get rid of poverty, I think not the only reason, but it's a high reason why we have crime.
White collar crimes are a crime.
Yeah, so that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, so and usually in black and brown communities. So I will wish away poverty.
Okay. One more wish.
I don't know. I really can't think of a third one.
Okay. 3 wishes, Tony.
Money.
Wow.
Great health for my entire family.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the third one.
And no debt.
Well, you wouldn't have no debt because you have money.
No.
If you have endless money, you will have debt. You wouldn't have debt.
Yeah.
But you didn't say endless money, so I'll just let you talk.
Yeah. So yeah, I would, because if I had no debt, then I wouldn't need all that money. So I'm going to say I wish for $5 million, and there could never be a possibility of having debt.
Okay, I want $500 million. I want access to everyone that has more money than that. All billionaires in the world. I want to reach and talk to them, to know how to leverage that $500 million, become a billionaire, or I just be a billionaire. That'd be my first wish.
I'm about to say.
And then my third one would be, I would probably. I like the poverty thing, but I would say, and I guess conjunction with that, homeless. I hate seeing homeless people on the street. So like I would wish that everybody that was homeless not be homeless and have somewhere to eat, sleep, poop, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I think the healthcare thing is good. I can have all this money in the world, but if I'm dying, I got you.
Yeah, you got all the money, but you're dead. Now. Dead at 35. Yeah. Oh Jesus,
that's good.
All right, so today we're gonna talk about you guys in the culture. I don't know if you guys really use this, but I know a lot of women sometimes refer to each other and they say, "Hey B," And by B they mean bitch. I'm gonna just say it just so we're all on the same page. Hey B, this and that B did that, and then either they use it in a way that's like, oh, that's a term of endearment, or that's my girl, that's my B, that's my whatever, or they like B, if you ever do that again, I'm gonna, they kind of go off. And in the same way, the N word, like. So a lot of black community believes that, because the N word is kind of a term, again, of endearment. I'd say nigga all the time. I actually just said nigga on one of the stories that we have for today on our Instagram. So nigga is a part of I just grew up with that word.
It is
and
a part of your vocabulary.
It's a part of my vocabulary. Yeah. And so my wife and I often get in conversations about this, but before I even had my daughter, because I would say, man, we'd be at restaurants. I'd be like, man, nigga, I'm loud. Nigga, don't you do. And my wife be like, John, please. She uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm a nigga. I'm going to say nigga all day. Yeah. And Jovita's like, well, cool. But, when you have your daughter, I don't want you using that word around her. And since I've had my daughter, I don't say nigga around my daughter.
That's good.
Until she understands what the word means. And I'm like, nigga, you better. No. So my question is to you guys, like, is it cool for us as a culture to like use the N word within each other, and are we okay with other people that are not black and brown like us using the N word to us as a term of endearment? So it's a two part question, because the second part is really like, if you have a friend that's white or a friend that's Asian or another whatever ethnicity, and they're like, hey nigga, what's going on? And they're your friend, are you good with that, or are you like, nah man, you can't use that word? What's your take on that?
If he's my friend, start with the second one. If he's my friend, he would know not to use that. Okay. Period. So I'm never comfortable with somebody, even Hispanics, like, you still shouldn't be using that. Yeah. Also, I wish that we would not use it as much.
In the culture?
Really? I wish that we would get to a place where we're smart enough to know and have a different vocabulary. Like, usually when I use it, it's because somebody is actually being outright, like, either disrespectful or, like, ethnic, like, to downgrade a black person if I'm going to use it. But I'm not really using it in a term of endearment like I do sometimes. So let me take that back.
I'm about to say, I feel like we all use the, like, I use it, and maybe you don't, T, because I don't know. I don't remember.
I've never used it. But it's not like that. Like,
is that not a term of endearment? You mean?
No, I do use it sometimes as that. That's why I had to take it back, because I realized I do.
You be saying,
but I don't use it that often. Like, it's not like a prominent word in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I mean, it's phased out for me a little bit too. As I'm getting older, like I'm 34 now. I don't say nigga like that.
It just doesn't help. What does it help using that word, especially in the streets? Like, what is it doing? What good is it bringing to anything for our culture?
Yeah. I just feel like, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, yo, this is kind of ingrained in the culture. Like, I hate to say it, but I feel like to some degree it is. It's like, yo, nigga, what's up? Like, yo, or nigga, like, why you do that? Nah, nigga, you like, we just use it in so many different ways. I'm not sure if I'm ready to let go of that word. For what purpose? I mean, really, truthfully, why people call us niggas? They be saying them niggas.
But why does that? But just because they use that word doesn't make it okay. Like, you cannot be mad that somebody's calling you that and then you call somebody that because you're black.
But what if I'm not mad? Like, what if I'm saying John's not mad at them niggas, white niggas saying nigga word, and I'm not mad if I say it. I'm good with it. I don't feel like it advances the culture or not advances the culture.
But why would you be okay with the white person calling you that?
I'm not saying them calling me that. I'm saying them saying the word.
Still, same difference.
I think it's different. I think if a white person says, hey, nigga, versus them saying in their own houses, nigga, I think that's different. That's not the same to me. If they call, if somebody's not here, if they're like, yo, John, that nigga, and I don't know they're calling me nigga, that's not the same as someone saying, hey, nigga, like to my face. That's not the same.
But we can't really talk to what somebody's doing in their house that we don't know about.
Right, which is why I don't speak to it. I'm saying I'm good with it if they're at home, but I'm saying if in my face somebody says, nigga, and they're white, or even if they're black, I feel like honestly, it doesn't really matter whether they're white or black, depending on how it's said and whether the relational value or capital you have with that person.
So I've never used it anywhere in my entire life. I think it should
really. And you're from Baltimore,
nigga. I use that word all day. I'm like, you are lying, nigga. I use it today.
I literally heard it in my head.
You got that nigga hat on.
I'm about to say, nigga. So, but I differ from Antonio a little bit. So first of all, well, I'll get to that later because I want to talk about that on the Real Talk wrap up. But I use I actually don't mind. It's really weird. Unless it's anybody can say it besides a white person. I don't care if you're Hispanic. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care
Really?
if
That's interesting.
Native American, Hawaiian. Like,
are we gonna go down the entire list? Because you're literally going down the list.
It does not bother me one hand if I have one hand, one bit. If I have an Hispanic friend who says who uses it like I do, like nigga, like like that.
Why is that?
Because of the history between said group, that it was not used by said group as a way to oppress our people. It was used by white people,
right?
And therefore, it's to me, it's off limits. It's like it's for that particular group. So and just like there are certain things, like even at my job, like if I hear like whenever there's an issue of race, because race is a big thing in the educational field, especially my district.
Sure. And
I might hear them say, well, he lives in a redneck town. You can say that.
Yeah.
I will not fix to say anything about any of my students who are white that they live in a redneck part of the community.
Right.
I just won't say it because it was used, to me, it's used as a way of our people to offend one particular group that has racial backgrounds to it. So I can't say that. Sure. I won't say it. I remember it was so funny. This is the best story. There was a white kid in my school, and I'm the assistant principal, and there's a white kid. He had a shirt that said "Coolest cracker in the box." And he wore it around.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
So he said "Coolest cracker in the box." And so I kept looking at it like, yo. And so I called my white assistant principal. I said, yo, Mr. Huber, like, yo, you gotta, can you have a conversation with him? I felt like I shouldn't have that conversation.
Why?
But I said, but I want to be there. So I wanted to be there. And he said, come here. Where'd you get that shirt from? My aunt made it.
That's hilarious.
And so I said, I don't think the white kid walking around this school with a bunch of black kids should probably, now I did say that, should probably have a shirt that says, coolest cracker in the box.
Yeah.
But him and I have had the best relationship since that moment.
You and the kid.
Me and him, we're like, it's so funny. But it's one of the things where I should have felt more comfortable, but I'm not comfortable of even saying that word cracker to a white person because of the history of what that means for us to them. Make sense? And so that's how I feel. Hispanics, any other race, and historically, they weren't the ones that were hanging us by ropes. They weren't the ones that passed Jim Crow legislation. So to me,
but even nigger versus nigga versus Negro,
it's
I feel
a big
like
difference.
they're a different.
But I just yes, I would say it doesn't matter. But even if a black person were to say,
I feel like Tony feels like we're splitting hairs here.
I do. Growing up in Montgomery County, right? Elementary school, my bus was like the only black bus, right? Middle school. There were black people on other buses, but our bus was literally like 90% black.
Okay.
Right? So if somebody else said it, it's a problem. Right?
Said the N-word.
The N-word.
Yeah.
And like I just feel like we've gotten to a point where it's so ingrained into our culture that everyone is using it, and it's watered down to the point where everyone else feels like they can use it as well. Like y'all using it out loud like in every conversation, so doesn't seem like y'all care. So
I'm okay with that. You still can't say it.
I get that, but it's like, why do we have to use it so much?
I can see that, but as long as you know, as a white person, you can't say it.
Right.
And so, but I agree. I do think we overuse it. I think I totally agree. I do think it is overused. It's so, we use it so much that it's almost like but I'm like that with everything. I'm even like that with curse words. It's not just the N-word. I'm like that in everything. Like
I just don't feel like saying the N-word or not saying the N-word somehow doesn't make us a better in any way. I honestly don't think
your vocabulary.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe in that sense, but I'm saying, okay, even if we don't advance our vocabulary, absent of the word of saying nigga, negro, nigga, whatever, I don't feel like they're gonna be like, oh, he hasn't used that word. That makes him better. It doesn't. I feel like what we've done, which I kind of like about it, is that we've coined a term and use it as a term of endearment within each other. And to me, it takes the power away from what it used to mean to the culture.
And I agree with that.
70 years ago, 80 years ago.
And I also want to add, I applaud people who can code switch, switch. Like I don't use it at work. I did like and it's just without question. I don't use it at work, and it's a word that I use around like all my friends and etc. And I know we have some friends who say, "Well, I don't like that," so I say "ninja." Shut up, like it's
you're
just
stupid.
Yeah.
I will smack
it's
you.
the same thing.
Yeah,
but it's just like, but if you can code switch, I feel like that's even with like foul language and the N word, I can code switch really quick. I don't use it at work.
So in proximity like this, I'll use like if it's just us, right? Or like in any of our homes, like that may come out. However, like if we go out restaurants and stuff like that, I try my hardest.
So you're Jovita right now.
Not to you.
Because I feel like you give me Jovita energy.
Yes.
Like if I said nigga loud at the restaurant,
like,
you
yes.
be
like,
that
dude,
guy.
Like,
but see, true. But I'm with it. It depends on what restaurant. Like if we had like a Ruth Chris,
if you at Fridays in Greenbelt,
then that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, you going on Fridays in Greenbelt? No,
I'm just saying the vibe, the atmosphere. It's not like if you go out
a classy restaurant.
Right?
Yeah.
I hear that.
That's how I am.
That's how you feel.
I'm like that, but
I don't care about. Just so we're clear, when I was talking about it in restaurants, I was speaking about any restaurant. And you know how Javita and I, we will go to a very nice restaurant. We drink and have a good time. I'm gonna say nigga. I'm gonna say nigga loud. I'm gonna say nigga soft. I'm gonna say nigga.
See, and I'm like that across the board. Even if it's not just the N word related. If I'm at a nice restaurant, I think my demeanor in general changes.
Code switch.
Yeah, code switch.
I'm saying the older I got, the more my demeanor stopped to change. Like I be in that joint like, well now I'm like I got a kid, so that's the energy I'm rolling with right now. But I'm saying when I was 25 and 26, like you couldn't tell me not to say that was the word.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm speaking to. Because I'm like right now I'm 34 years old. Me walking around saying nigga all the time. It really is nowhere appropriate except for barbershops where a bunch of old niggas be saying nigga all the time. Like aside from that, I don't have really any place to go where I can feel that word's being said. But I just feel like we have to stop making this thing like, oh, we're somehow smarter by stopping using that word. I just don't think that's what happens. I think as within our community, we got that word. We were told that word was derogatory, demeaned us as a culture, as a people, and I think even Jay-Z kind of said the same thing because I think Oprah asked him, hey, why do you keep using that word in your songs? And he's just like, it's a term of endearment. We've coined it and we put it on.
It's really a term of endearment though, because we use it for a term of endearment. We use it to take down somebody within our race. We use it in all these other ways.
I agree with that.
Nigger was used to degrade us and to tear us down.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
I agree with that.
However,
I agree that we don't
is used in all these various ways.
Right. I agree that we don't always use it as a term of endearment. I agree with that. I agree that, in our culture, sometimes how you say nigga means it could be a totally different thing. Right. It could literally be like, man, nigga, what's up? Like that's like, hey, like nigga, I will pop up. Right. I will, I'll knock you out. So it's totally different meaning. That,
like, did you have fun?
Nigga. Exactly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's kind of created its own culture within our community whereas I agree with T is like, yeah, man, like, white people can't use it. They just
agree.
Is there ever an instance in which it is okay for a white person to use it?
No.
I think if a white person gets, if a white person, because here's the thing: when I was in college, I don't know if you remember. I don't even remember his last name. At Towson University, which is adult. First of all, I'll say what college I went to.
PWI. PWI. Both of y'all actually.
I'll smack you. Okay,
continue.
Nigga. I had a white friend, who was kind of like the black white friend. Remember Pat?
No. Yeah, I do remember Pat.
And he was kind of black. I don't remember him if he did or didn't say the nigga word or what. But I feel like if he said it, I wouldn't have felt no kind of way because I felt like his demographic made me be like, bro. I feel like when I tell you he was more black than me, and he was a white guy, he just gave me more black energy with how he talked, walked, acted, whatever. I would not have swung on him if he had said
this
nigga.
is what I say. He would have never understood or been through what we have been through as a people. So when we take that word and use it, you could never use it.
And see, here's the thing. I think older me agrees with that, but younger me back then would have been like, I don't think I would have been offended. And so I understand why I John, and I know people like that, not just him, who grew up with it. We had one in our community, and
I grew up with some too.
It's just like if he said it, I don't think like. I feel like older me would say, "All right, listen, come here, we gotta talk real quick."
Yeah,
all right,
I'm smack you.
Like,
it's gonna fight.
Yeah.
But the older you get, you just kind of you don't care as much about.
But you appreciate history now. I feel like younger me, I didn't care about that stuff. I didn't care. I didn't start caring about that stuff. I'm gonna be honest until I got to Towson.
But the
N-word. I didn't care because everybody, 95% of my population, I'm from Baltimore, was black. Everybody I saw was black.
99%.
If there was somebody white in that community, he was just as broke as we were. He was just as middle class as we were.
And he could say nigga.
Well, he couldn't say that, but it's just I don't even know if he knew he was white. Like it was just
my grandparents had a house in Kensington, Maryland.
Okay.
In a black neighborhood called Kengar.
King what?
Kengar.
Okay.
It was a black neighborhood from like 18 something.
Okay.
Right? Across it was bordered by railroad tracks. One way in, one way out by car.
Yeah.
Across the main highway, Connecticut Avenue, we termed that White-topia.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
You can't say any of this. So you grew up in Baltimore with everyone looking like you.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up pretty much going to Montgomery County schools where everyone didn't look like me.
Exactly.
And so if you came out your mouth wrong, you got your behind beat. Like, period. And so I've even fought a couple people at camps. Like, yo, shut up. Don't say it again. Say it again.
They said the N-word to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like.
And so I'm different. And that's why I said I don't think it really hit me until I got to Towson. We're just like, oh dang, like.
So my question is this: does intent matter? So if a well-meaning white guy says, "Yo, what's up, my nigga?" or listen, or you're a cool nigga, you a cool nigga, yo.
No.
Would that moment be offensive?
Yes.
So I think
I don't think it's offensive.
I think intent matters in this case. If you use the word as a term of endearment, then you can't do it. So if a white person is comfortable to use it as a term of endearment, no, you can't say it. Now, I will tell you that I did not get mad, but I kind of cringed when I had two staff members who were repeating a conversation they overheard. And they even gave me a look when they said it. It was like, yeah, because he said, do you know what John said? John was like, yeah, that, first of all, they said nigger. And I'm like, he didn't say nigger. He said nigger. But
they trying to politically correct.
Exactly. That nigger down the street was at my house the other day. And I said, don't use that word for me. And I'm like, you probably shouldn't even repeat it.
Right.
I think I can't be really mad because their intent in that matter was to say how they were uncomfortable.
They were saying a story.
They were repeating it.
Yeah.
So I really, it might be something I might pull them aside, like, hey, by the way,
they should know to code switch and say the N-word. He said the N-word in the context of this conversation.
That ain't code switch.
You should not even be comfortable enough to say that word when I'm in the room.
Is someone calling you a nigga a moment for you to educate them or smack them on sight?
Now, educate them. And next time, it may be something different.
Yeah.
Teachable moment.
I don't educate. I just be like, oh, your vocabulary is so nice. I kind of.
I've never been called a nigga, so I mean, I look like a nigga. So I don't know. No one's ever been like, really? Someone's called you a nigga to your face.
Somebody's called. So, and I'm talking about this too. I don't know how. I mean, I guess I sound black. I don't know, but I'll be playing Call of Duty or Madden, and I'm beating this dude's tail, and he's like, "You stupid nigger! You probably voted for Obama, didn't you, you nigger?" And I'm like, "How did you know?
What in the world is happening on Call of Duty?"
It goes down on
what's your IP address, bro? I'm pulling up. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what I'm trying to. So I actually got kicked like off Xbox because I would be going at these dudes. I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah, I see you.
How they shut you down?
Because the Xbox, the guy would then report like a little.
He reported
like a little bit. You had all this energy that you gonna get me. So I said, all right. Oh, you know what? I'm missing out on my gaming time. Let me stop. So now I just kind of like I said, I'm like, oh, you so cute. Like your little vocabulary words. It's so adorable. You said the N word. Look at you. Like,
wow.
You know,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Tony's upset. He's not having.
I'm with, but it's where he grew up, so I'm with Tony.
Okay, so how about this? Is it okay for white people in their rap songs to say
no?
It's never. So you're saying it's never okay.
It is never okay for that to exit your lips.
I don't think Eminem has ever said it in the rap.
I don't know. I like Eminem, but I've never.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever said it. I think I thought one time even he talked about how he won't say that word in a song. Like he's never that comfortable.
And you're not okay with black people too either, singing the songs.
Yes,
you're okay.
I will listen to it and I will sing it, whatever. However,
that's a form of saying you're okay with it though, Tone.
It is.
Like so how you gonna be so I'm taking a stand?
A song that's like nigga. I'm not listening.
That's just stupid. Yeah.
That's a bad song.
That's just a bad song.
All right.
So pretty much all the rap today.
Right.
No. But there's a lot of songs. If it's like, if that word is literally like used so much,
Yeah.
I will not listen to that song. Like, I will quickly change it.
Yeah.
That's just like, there's no need for you to use it that much.
Well, what about, okay, how about this? What about that? I mean, I'm gonna jump back to the N word, but what about your energy with the B word? How do you feel about that? With women, like using that as a term of endearment?
It's off limits for men.
You, as a man, you can never call a word.
It's off limits.
No. And I also.
But there are dudes that have called girls B's all the time. Actually, Snoop was just talking about how
gay friends and stuff like that. Like, I had a conversation with my wife. It was just like, that person is a man. I don't like it. Period. I don't care who they like. They are a man.
Oh, she's like a gay male friend? Yeah.
So I'm just like, it makes me uncomfortable because at the end of the day, we're all men.
Oh, a gay male friend calls her a B?
Yeah, like, hey, bitch, whatever.
Oh!
It's like,
I will swing on you so hard.
I will beat it.
Yeah, I will beat the hell out of you.
No, it's not even, like, I get it. That is...
No, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I hear you, Tone. Tone.
I'm just saying, it happens, and that is more than just me, my wife, whatever. Like, it is around the globe.
I'm just saying,
like,
I can only speak for my wife.
For me, I had a conversation. I was like, I don't like it. And I don't like when you refer to him as that either.
He refers to himself as a B?
No,
she refers to him as a B?
Like, yeah. Like,
I mean, like, I'm not trying to be, like, derogatory. I'm saying, like, that's their energy. Like it's a term of endearment between the two. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't like that.
I'm asking more, not even just her, but, like, is that a thing for women to gay men to be saying B?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a thing, like a term of endearment. And I'm like, for me, it's just like, do you have to? Like, is that the word you have to use?
Yeah.
Like,
what is it about that word? Like, why? What is that? Like, it really is a term of that's just it.
You know, it's funny. I don't know the history behind it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know behind the word, but I do know it's even worse in black culture than it is in other cultures.
Yes,
that's one thing I do know. So it's like, to me, I tell my students, like, you know, whenever I have conflict between a man and a woman, a male student, a female student, and that comes up, and I'm just like, let me tell you something. I don't care. You can call her stupid. I don't want you to call her anything. You can call her dumb. You can talk about her breath because her breath does stink. You can talk about how her edges is whack. But the B word to one of my black and brown female students is off limits. Period. It's off limits. You know, like, and you know the popular phrase. What if she called your mama B? What if there was a male at your mama's job that called your mama B? You be ready to throw down. Yeah. It's no matter what she did. It's off limits.
Now, if it's, to me, the word is different when it's used to describe action. Like,
action?
That person is acting like
or
like her attitude. She's such a B in that way.
Yeah.
You're acting very niggerish right now.
What?
It's offensive. I'm trying to say,
like, what is happening?
But like, I don't understand how that word became a term of endearment.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
So so I looked up the B word. I mean, the B word, obviously, a female dog, wolf, fox, or other, you know,
that's how we
Urban Dictionary. But the Urban Dictionary says it as the B word is a word used to describe the act of whining excessively, or a person who rides specifically in the middle of a front seating only car meant for 2 passengers or less, or a modern day server.
Is that like the middle of a bench seat?
Yeah. And it also says or C basic B. I thought that was funny.
The last part is it.
But I feel like, I mean, it's one of the same. I think it's the same thing as what the N word is. Like, I think the N word and the B word are the same in the sense that, like, it's a bad word to say to a woman. B word is, and the N word is a bad thing to say to a black person or whatever. And people have like recoined the term to mean something to some degree of a endearment. Like, you're my B, you're my N, and it kind of works for the culture today. I just really wonder, like, why we just, I mean, I use the N word, so I guess I can't really speak too much to it, but I mean, as far as the B word though, I don't want to say it's a double standard, because I kind of feel like now that we've talked about it, I feel like I have a double standard on the B word versus the N word, because I'm like, well, I think it's fine for the N word, but the B word, that's a no-no, you know?
And why? Because if your child started walking around cursing, right?
Yeah.
It's just a word.
Yeah.
It's just a word. I don't mean it what the dictionary says.
Right.
I mean it something else.
Yeah.
But we have a problem with our children cursing.
We would.
We talk about the N word and the B word.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a term of endearment. We change what it means.
Yeah.
No.
That's a valid point. And look, yesterday I was in my car and I was driving and I don't know if Jocelyn was cursing. I'm not gonna lie.
She was cursing.
But she was saying I think she was saying the F word. But she was saying, because she kept saying it over and over again. She was like, truck, but it wasn't like truck. It was like, so it sounded like she was like, up, over and over again. I'm like, I said, Jocelyn, stop saying that word. Like, what is wrong? So I don't know if she was saying it or not, but I do agree that if we would, and I think that's a good funnel or good filter to run things through. Like, will we be okay with our kids saying these words not only to each other, but as a term of endearment or not? And like, are we good with our kids doing it? And I think that's a good barometer to kind of fill out whether we should be doing it or not. Because I mean, our kids are going to do what we're doing, and we make them feel comfortable of what they can and can't do through how we do things.
I think I haven't. So, because one of the is it okay for a woman? Does it bother you when a woman calls another woman B? And I don't think it bothers me. I think I have an issue with just women just over cursing in general. It's just so ghetto to me.
But does it? But with the B word, I don't know if you see it a lot. Would it be with white women versus black women? So I don't know what your experience is. Yeah. But is it to feel worse to some degree when a black woman calls each other a B versus a white?
So let me tell you, and I could be totally wrong. But I feel that there's a cultural appropriation going on when white women call the other white women that. Because I could be wrong.
What do you mean when you say that?
I'm about to explain. Okay, go ahead. Because maybe this could be the egotistical black side of me, but I do feel like people copy our culture, and because our culture, black women call each other women, and it's become this big thing. Now other cultures are copying it and doing this, and they're saying it. The reason why I think it's appropriation because they're saying it in the same way that our culture, bitch, like what? And just like they culturally appropriate braids, and like they created the cornrows, and I'm like, we've been in cornrows, and they don't think that they're doing, and I'm personally not. I'm not that much offended. I'm more so like, oh, okay, well.
We set trends.
Yeah, we set trends.
What's crazy about it, though, which I do hate about it, is that we don't learn from them the same way that they learn from us. So, like, where they're like, oh, well, I'll culturally appropriate this. Like, I'll say, hey, B, da da da.
It's more physical.
We do it through how we are so cool and how we just kind of like are ourselves, and they do it through being studious and to some degree, studious in financial wealth and like kind of understanding what it means to be like stock market and we don't look at them like they look at us. You know what I'm saying? Like they look at us and they're like, well, we'll be like them, but when we see them and they own companies and they own this mansion and their house or their car or whatever, and we're out here like not really broad strokes, obviously out here just not winning like that. We don't view that in the same. We don't say let's culturally appropriate that part.
Because a lot of times they don't.
A
lot of times they are not that studious.
Who's honestly? Who's the they you're speaking to?
The white people
are not studious of us.
They're not. They're studious of us. But they're not that studious. Like in a lot of things that they have, and I'm just generally speaking.
Yeah, boss.
And they're given a lot of these things, and so it's a mindset thing, like a whole cultural mindset thing. Like you have people branching out and doing that, but we're not bringing others in and trickling it down. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree with that.
The Black Bill Gates. Like what has he done to bring? I mean, he's probably done a lot of things.
You said the Black Bill Gates?
Yeah. I'm just
whoever that may be.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, who the heck is
whoever that may be?
I got you.
They've probably done it. I'm just saying, what have they done to bring a multitude of people under their wing and teach them and guide them the way that they are? Because black people are doing amazing things, period. A lot of things we don't see, but you have a lot of white people who are in power and own these companies because they had the money trickle down from them and their parents giving them money and all these other things or stocks in their name, everything ready for them once they come of age.
And that's what we should be copying.
Yeah,
so that's what John's point.
Like
I saw your thing your thing you posted about buying property and putting it in your child's name. So like that's what we should be copying.
I agree, and I think even with that particular post you're speaking about, like white guy, Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets basically was like, I'm going to buy a house, 15-year mortgage, and rent the property out on a 15-year note. And once the property, after 15 years, appreciates and I pay the property off or what have you, I'm gonna sell the property so my child can have a company or go to college. And I'm like, what the crap? Why have I never thought? Not have I thought of that, but why don't people talk like this? Where do people talk like this?
We're still in survival mode.
Yeah,
we're still in survival mode.
Yeah,
still, and that is, to me, that's the reason why.
And I want to add, and the things that we culture appropriate, is the Louis, the polo, like the
that's true.
That's what we culture appropriate.
That's true
because that's what they wear, and what they don't. And what I hate about our people, I understand is. Idiot! They don't wear this stuff every day. No. They don't. When they go out to something like Wrigley's, I remember at Towson University.
Yeah.
we got nice clothes on,
right,
out of bed to go to class.
Yeah, they got dirty shoes on,
pajamas.
Yeah,
like,
and then it's for
and
us,
got bread.
When you speak properly,
you're right.
Ain't paying back a single loan.
Educated and advance your vocabulary, and think about how you're speaking. Guess what? You're why are you talking white?
Mm-hmm.
It's this has nothing to do with being
I'm talking
white.
educated.
This is knowing what I'm saying and advancing my vocabulary and having the choice of words to choose from.
Yeah,
that takes me somewhere else where in this conversation I can sit down with a Fortune 500, CEO and have a conversation. Whereas you at the table, he gonna look at you like, what the hell are you saying out of your mouth?
Yeah.
But where I will push back a little bit, and this is kind of speaking to what Terrence was saying earlier, I, kind of adapting to the room.
Yeah.
'Cause think about it. I mean, I'm in most circles, I, can kind of flow. But I'm the main person that'll be like, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that same guy at the table, whatever. But I'm also that same guy that's going to study the trends. I'm also that same guy that's going to read. I think you could be both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my own personality of what I think. But I also think I agree with you guys where it's man, the culture, we want to have the outward appearance of wealth without the actual wealth.
Right.
And I think that's been a large part of what my downfall has been. I had to learn from my mistakes and be honest with myself and say, man, granted, I made pretty good money. I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
In a sense of because we think good money, air quotes again, is $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good money.
That's not.
That ain't no money in this culture. But to some degree, a large part of the culture has made you believe, especially our culture, oh, you make 100,000. Oh, you doing it big, man. You doing big things, and then you start spending and leveraging off of the $100,000 to make it look like what they're saying you are.
Yeah.
So what I'm learning from the actual literal wealthy people who are the narrow-minded, narrow-road people, they're like, yo, I don't go and spend my money like y'all crazy dumb people do and try to consumerism type thought process. I take my money, I pay the IRS 40%, I pay 40% to myself, and I live off the 20%. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, mind blow. What? I was only living off 20% of 100,000, which is $20,000. When I was making 100,000, I'm not even making 100,000 like I wasn't. So I'm just speaking to that point. That's a different mindset. And he said, and they're saying the wealthy. I'm talking about the wealthy of the wealthy. I'm talking about the 500 million, I own 1 billion in real estate type people. They're like, yo, you have that 20% and you grow that 20% so that whatever that 20% is income wise, it'll eventually grow from 100,000 maybe equals to 20% to 1 million equals to 20%. And then eventually 10 million equals to 20%. You know what I'm saying? And your wealth is growing and you're paying yourself and you're paying your taxes. So I'm like, where was this information when I was forming my mind and brain along the way of becoming an adult? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Think about this. When the rappers that are out now, when they go in and they do interviews, you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Their thought process is it's great.
Yeah.
For most of them. It's just yo.
It's true.
That is dope. However, the people that are listening to their music are so hooked onto their music, they can't even grasp that this individual is on another playing field.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what he's saying out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And so when I said what I said about coming to the table with somebody the same person is oh, you speak white?
Yeah.
There are people that know how to code switch, and there are people that can be them but still command a presence in a room without fully code switching.
Right.
There's a difference there.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's there are people that don't even understand what a code switch is.
Yeah.
And there are some people that can be themselves but still speak to a CEO, whoever, in a way that they will understand.
Definitely.
Without fully changing who they are.
Definitely.
And then there's people that can't do it at all.
Yeah.
And would downgrade anybody that can speak intelligently to some topic or a situation.
Yeah, I love that. We're gonna have to end this topic, but I really, really love the stuff that came from it, because I feel what we're talking about, what we're kind of teetering on, is like really changing the culture of how we think as Black people. Even with me, like talking about the B word versus the N word, and I don't use the N word as much. Like I think as you get older, you really kind of migrate away from those words and realize, like, yeah, there is more wisdom. And there's, I kind of have, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have, but over the past 10 years, I'm 34, you're 40 something, whatever.
Yeah. So much foul language.
But over those past yeah, I'm joking. But over those past 10 years, you kind of like begin to unravel some of the things that have been like the core structure of who you have learned to become because of what the information you've been given, right? Like, and you start to read and you start to like listen to podcasts. You start to listen to other people that have more education than you. You start to filter out the stupid stuff and start to dump in the things that like really, really matter in life. I think that's an important thing that happens in life. So the B and N word, we're going to put them to death, man. We're going to say women, don't use the B word. Niggas, don't use the N word. No, I'm just kidding. N word, let's just watch how we use it. Maybe code switch. I think we should be careful. Be mindful. How people may interpret your wisdom or lack thereof according to how you talk. Because people do only base it off of that, right?
Yeah.
So right now I'm going to do the Terrence's Real Talk wrap up.
So let's cut to the chase. If I'm white, can I say the N-word? If I'm white, can I say the N-word? Let's ask it differently. Can your white friends use the word nigger? There's probably no word in the entire American dialect that is the poignant voice of nigger. And yet, as its informal usage grows, there are many young whites and some Latinos and Asians who believe it's innocent. In my line of work as an educator, I've naturally developed a plethora of white friends, and they easily say it's just off limits. Even my white friends say it's off limits. Two of my closest colleagues, who are also in an interracial relationship, get offended when they hear it used in any capacity by a white person. Let me pause to say, I appreciate you. #respect. What's interesting is that I have been called this word on many occasions. I'm still confused as how white people on Xbox Live know that I'm a Negro just because I'm up 45-7 during the 5-minute quarters on Madden. It's not my fault that you're trash. Why do I gotta be a nigger? But it also dawned on me that for many whites, especially young ones, their use of the word is to garner negative attention and to merely become confrontational. I'm honestly not offended during those moments. I'm at a grocery store, I hop in front of you, or I'm on the highway and you mad because I cut you off, so you yell out, "Move, you stupid nigger." It's more hilarious than offensive in those situations, because you just want one of us to react after said black person whoops you behind. There's justification for police action, and it's just not that deep to me anymore. So let's bring this back to the questions at hand. Are there situations where the use of the N-word by non-African Americans are okay? Years back, there was an article published in the Time magazine where the writer Torre, an African American, believes that there are two instances in which it would be okay for a person who is not black to use the N-word. Again, two instances in which it's okay for a person who is not black to use the N-word. Number one, if they're reporting on, commenting on, or writing some kind of think piece involving the word nigger. Or number two, using the word as part of a play, film, song, piece of visual art, or stand-up comedy routine. Now, albeit this was during the Obama administration and not while Donald Doofus was in office, but he may have a point here. If I'm watching a CNN report and Anderson Cooper is reporting on a police brutality or a race-related shooting and the suspect had hatred towards blacks, I'm not going to cancel Anderson Cooper because he used the N-word when quoting what the suspect said. In addition, when Leonardo DiCaprio used the N-word in Django, I'm certainly not to label the man formerly known as Jack Dawson a racist. Sidebar: I'm still not over the fact that Rose let that man drown in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. So like she could have shared that daggone headboard, but that's true. I digress. With all that being said, I'm also not mad at news anchors who, instead of saying nigger, simply say N-word. Or for actors and singers and writers who actually refuse to accept work opportunities that require the use of the word. I can respect that. So, once again, we're brought back to the central question. Is it okay for a white person in America to say the N-word? I did a survey on my Instagram and I merely asked, is the N-word offensive? 60% of the people who responded said yes, while 40% said no. This was interesting to me. What's also interesting is that many black music artists are okay with the word being uttered at their concerts. After all, we know that hip hop is more popular to whites than it is to African Americans. There's plenty of surveys done. There was one that was done recently, and based on responses, 1 out of every 4 blacks listen to hip hop or rap, while 50% of whites listen to it and own rap albums. There was a video that went viral years ago in which rapper Schoolboy Q actually says, I quote, "I wrote it, they paid me to see it, so obviously they're not racist, so I want them to say it. This is a concert. You put money on my family's table, so say it." Now, he received a lot of backlash for that comment, and it's probably rightfully so. One author, Leslie, wrote in her article in Medium, "Now, a lot of white hip-hop fans may not be racist, and it could be just another white fetishization of black culture. But regardless of the motive, the word is off-limits strictly by its history and the weight that it carries. As a historian, there is ample amount of truth here. And since we don't just celebrate Black History during 1 month, but all year, listeners, it might be a great time to tap into history. I also think historically there is a vast difference in the word nigger and nigga. So before anyone justifies their usage of nigger with the response, black people say it, no, we don't. Have some sense of decorum. 99% of the time we say nigger and it's used as a term of endearment. Or maybe something is about to go down, and in that case, white people run.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about to go down.
Facts.
So, all jokes aside, let's finalize this debate, Terrence. Let's finalize it, Terrence. Can my Caucasian brethren use the phrase nigga? I'm sorry, white people. I simply can't answer that for you. I certainly don't speak for all black people. But I will end by quoting what Leslie said in her article, in the Medium article, because I do believe that there is one instance in which a white person can use the word nigga. I actually believe that. The only time a white person should be willing and able to say nigga is if said white person is willing and able to deal with the consequences that follow.
Facts. Love it. Love it.
Wow.
I mean, Terrence might not speak for the whole black community, but I will. If you use that N-word, I will knock you to... No, I'm saying. Hey, man, thank you so much for listening to the Relentlessly Real podcast. We enjoyed this episode tremendously. Guys, you enjoy it?
I did.
Yes,
I feel like we talked a lot of good things. I think Antonio got tired of me rooting for the N-word, but I had a great time, man. If you guys want to check out more content, man, you can check us out on Spotify, on YouTube, on Google, I don't know, not even Google Play. Maybe Google Play too. iTunes for sure. If you like what you hear, please leave a review. It will be so helpful for us so we can be able to continue doing what we're doing.
Yes, follow the Facebook page, Relentlessly Real Podcast.
Yes.
Share that Facebook page out with your listeners. Follow the Instagram page.
Yes.
Share that page out with your listeners. Like, man, please.
Yeah, if you like what you're hearing, man, share. Also, if you want to submit topics, you can always do that and send it to relentlesslyrealpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's relentlesslyrealpodcast@gmail.com. I hope so much that you guys enjoyed this. We look forward to talking with you very, very soon. My name is John.
I'm Antonio.
And as always, I am Terrence.
You're always Terrence. And
always.
Thank you so much for listening to the Relentlessly Real podcast.
Peace.